And we're back. Did you miss me? Of course you did. And it's sweater weather again. It's cold out here in California. If you're with us, we are reading Almost Odis by me, Dusty Thompson. That's my name right there. Please buy the book. If you're following along, we're on the very last blog, dated Monday, September 4th, 2017, an open apology to the dad. Throughout my childhood and even into adulthood, there were preferences the dad had that I found annoying or ridiculous. It sometimes seemed he was trying his best to be difficult with the specificity of his demands. Requests such as extra ice in his tea, pockets on all his shirts, the eternal search for biscuits as good as your mama's, and irrational cravings for Zagnut candy bars, which I didn't even realize they still manufactured. Now that I'm sneaking up on 47 like I'm a ninja, I understand what he's talking about. Over the last year, I've noticed that I order extra ice in my tea because it's usually not cold enough. Iced tea should mean just that, iced. I have never ordered lukewarm tea. I don't think anyone has other than Amy Farrah Fowler in her inaugural appearance in Big Bang Theory, and if my memory serves, she asked for tepid water. God doesn't even like lukewarm things like the Bible verse tells us, so and our preference is at least religious in nature. I also celebrate when I find French cuff dress shirts or polos with a pocket. Now, I don't store crochet needles, reading glasses, and false teeth in my shirt pocket like the dad does, but I do like to have a place to put my phone or writing implement when I need to use both hands. You'd be surprised how often you need to use both hands. At least I was surprised. I also place my glasses there whenever I'm outside and forced to wear my prescription sunglasses because my pupils are too large and my eye color too light, according to my eye doctor. I don't want to be blind when you're old, Dustin, so I adhere to her suggestion of sunglasses when outdoors. I really do wish someone would hurry up and invent the tinted air-conditioned tubes for transporting people to and from important places like the bakery or TJ Maxx. I already asked Elon Musk for some air-conditioned tubes and he ain't listened to me. And he started an online campaign. The dad also distrusts automatic withdrawals for bill payment and depositing checks via cell phone. I'm okay with automatic withdrawals as I have only been burned once in 20 years with a double charge, but I do not like depositing checks via phone. I do it all the time, but it makes me nervous. I received a very large check recently and went to the bank to deposit it in person. The teller asked if the ATM wasn't working. When I told her it was fine, I just felt more secure in depositing it in person. She looked at me with that mixture of condescension and pity, not unlike the look you give people who can't operate a revolving door. She was like, okay. I've given that look a lot. I wanted to protest her attitude, but realized that would only confirm my old manness to her, and I was already behind schedule for my trip to Starbucks and the thrift store because it was Saturday, and that's what I do on Saturdays. I will never find a biscuit as delicious as my mother's, but I too find myself ordering them when available and enjoying the treat much less than I should because they don't measure up. I should simply be happy I found a biscuit in the land of the gluten-free, vegan, hippie bakers. I don't crave Zagnuts, but I do crave O. Henry candy bars, and they are just as difficult to locate, although I have found a cute little boutique candy store which sells both, and I treat us to one every 3 or 4 months. Mine I start eating on the way home. His I mail in a happy box as soon as I have procured 4 or 5 books I think he might like to justify mailing something other than a candy bar. A happy box from Uncle Dusty is one of the perks of being related to me. Constant reading and word puzzles is what has kept him sharp and ornery, so it's good for him but not so great for the dynamic duo of my brother and sister-in-law who have been housing him for the last year. Their crowns will be large in heaven, Wendy and Thorne, which I hope is a comfort to them. It's probably not. The last thing I noticed is something which might surprise people. My father and I are both introverts. I'm an extroverted introvert. He is simply an introvert. I have no problem talking to people, but as I've gotten older, it tires me much more quickly and I find myself, like him, with the overwhelming desire to be left alone. Except my boyfriend, now husband Ben, and or my sister. But still privy to all information concerning available activities or outings should I decide I want to participate. It's an odd thing to try to explain. Suffice it to say, I get it now. So I apologize, old man. I thought you were just old and crazy when I was younger. Now I realize you were simply requesting things you felt made sense because they made sense to you. Now that I'm older, I'm right there with you, closer to becoming an actual Odis than I care to ponder, much less admit. To say you're crazy would be to acknowledge I have crazy tendencies, and we are not getting into that discussion right now. and almost Odis I shall remain, if for no other reason than my wardrobe. I know that Dad's golden years are not what he imagined, and not just in relation to my mother's death. He has every right to be angry that he has much less than he should to show for years for backbreaking work. He has retired unwillingly due to his injuries, and the many times he has been treated poorly by everyone from his selfish parents to a faceless bureaucracy has kept his anger real, his wounds fresh. As we are a family of meager means, I have nothing in the way of inheritance coming should the dad not outlive me. However, from him I have inherited intangible things worth more than money, a fiery but mostly controlled Irish temper, which fuels my passion, the mindset of generosity, artistic ability, the clear, high-singing voice of a good old gospel tenor, a flair for the dramatic, and the ability to make people laugh. Whether I have learned from his example or seen him as a cautionary tale to be heeded, he has irreparably impacted my life, and his life is inextricably linked with mine. Regardless of my level of Odis, I am who I am because of him and the woman he has loved for more than 50 years. I still call him every weekend. Sometimes he's complaining, sometimes he's laughing with a joke or a story to tell, but I relish the fact that he is here, he is there for me to call, and I can hear him say one more time, "Joe's Boo Hall, 8 ball speaking." And that's the end of the book. But fear not, I have lots more stories to tell, lots more opinions to share. So come on back next week, we'll have something for you. And we'll see you then. Goodbye.